Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea, which today is a black tea flavored with lemon. So it's just this lovely lemon tasting black tea. I have to admit, I was thinking about yesterday around this time that maybe I shouldn't do a yarn talk video today and then just postpone it for next week. Because of course I am going live later today. Depending on when you're watching this, you may or may not see that I have been live. But in like less than 10.5 hours or so from now, probably even less. But as of recording this video, I will be having my 1,000 subscribers milestone celebration live. And it will be definitely a generous one where I will recommend attending it live as well, which I've mentioned a few times. Do have some new stuff for it, but due to all that, I was debating, should I do a yarn talk or shouldn't I do a yarn talk? But actually I ended up deciding doing it, which means that next week I probably won't have one because next week, I barely won't be home. It's holidays. Not that I'm going on holiday, but I will do lots of other things where I won't have too much time to crochet. So I will try to figure out if I have something else for you on Friday. That's a plan at least. But the general idea right now is to probably just forward it a week, just to have time to actually get some pieces a bit further worked up and done so we can talk further about them. But I will make sure you have something else next week, Friday. That said, let's get into chatting a bit about the yarns. It's hot. It's very hot right now. So I have, as you know, been working quite a while on the Oasis cardigan. And I had a goal of finishing the first sleeve, which I haven't done. It's just a fact. I have like all the notes here on how I've been progressing. Did change that into a more like easily overseeable note. I had it really well done and all the way down to here. And I had to prepare for the cuffs. And then I was reading the pattern and realized I needed to frock 4 rounds. So I did, because I basically moved too far. Now then reading the pattern again, I'm trying to understand how to do it. I did it, I frocked it, because I did basically not like how it looked. It looked so crammed together, so squeezed. So I'm debating if I should basically either adapt my own version of it or what I should do. I'm not fully decided, to be honest. But that again is the wonderful way of crocheting, knitting for that sense as well, because I'm sure this is applicable for knitters as well, if we have any knitters out there. I do know there are people that knit more than they crochet and they are following this channel. So massive waves to the knitters as well. But that's a lovely thing about handcrafting. I think I should say it like this. The lovely thing about handcrafting is the fact that we are able to adapt this to either our own taste or our own measurements and sizes to some extent, right? So right now, I felt it was all crammed together. So let's see if I can explain it. What I need to do is I need to repeat this one, A4. So I need to do fans, chain 2, fans, chain 2, fans, kind of like, this is kind of how it says. But when I do it, it gets so crammed together on the sleeve. Like, it seems more logic to do the fans because they take up so much space, chain 2 and then jump a gap and then make a new fan, which still gives you the correct amount of spacing between. Because if I don't do that, I do the fans, chain 2 and then fans in the next gap, it gets very crammed on the sleeve. And the thing is, when I look on the photos, it doesn't look like crammed. So I'm not sure if there's a mistake in the pattern or if it's just me. It's probably just me. And I'm basically debating instead if I should just like do my own adaptation of it. And then it's said here, of course, that the following row you need to do the double crochets between the fans. And here I'm like, but if I do that, then the following row will be too small, because obviously I will only have half the amount of fans. But what I could option to do is just to work them in the space of the fan. It might not be too bad actually. So I did a round of that and I ended up frocking it because, you know, I was like, oh, but I need to do fans every round. And then I did like half a round of those fans and I was like, oh, but that's so bulky and cramped together. Does it even make sense? So it's a little bit odd, but I need some sort of different cuffing. But what I am gonna do, because you haven't seen this one on for a while, and I have done some rows since last time. I just need to find the right way. I will just take it on for you guys. See if I can without getting it all tangled up in my hair. I need a bit further down for the arm gap. It's really not going very well right now. Just a moment, please. So that's a top, so it needs to go further up. There it is. And that's because it is so ever flexible, I guess. And I'm going to show you guys how it's looking right now. And I'm just gonna move the chair a little bit at the side. This is where we are at. It's not bad. Like, and I really like how the pattern goes out here. It's beautiful, right? Like absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, when I'm wearing it like here, I'm not 100% sure if I need extra. Maybe I need a bit extra just to cover belly. But here we have where we are. So I do need to, and I do want to decrease a bit here. And when I'm following the guidelines, I need to do another 4 for 11 rounds, which probably is quite fitting. So the benefit of doing how I mentioned is I can still decrease a bit in those in between. And it's also not too bad if I keep it like this because it is nice and airy. Like, I like how the arm is turning out. And I could even probably end it like this if I wanted to, without any fans. But then it's not matching up the fans here. So maybe what I should do is I should ask you guys, do you think I should add fans to the cuffs and do my own design? Or do you just think I should just keep it like mesh like this without any additional cuffing, or just do one round of additional fans for the very last row? Let me know. Do you have any suggestions? Let me know. I am open for inspiration right now, and you have the opportunity to affect how I am going to make this, because I will happily take any advice. So that's it. How am I gonna finish my sleeves? Am I gonna do my own adaptation of the pattern? Am I gonna do another couple of rounds of decreases, which I can do before doing the cuffs, and then those cuffs just do 1 or 2 rounds of fans, or maybe just a single round at the very end? Let me know what your thoughts are. You can right now have a chance of influencing how this cardigan is going to end up looking like, because right now I am 99.9% sure I'm going to deviate from the pattern again. So yeah, I am open for suggestions. Come with them. The yarn I'm using for that cardigan is the Drops Baby Merino. This is the very last ball I have left, except for the one which looks cranky because I've unraveled and bound it up again. But it is this gorgeous baby merino that came in donuts. Absolutely gorgeous yarn. I ordered it about a year ago, a bit less than a year ago. So it's a project that's been going on for a bit, but I'm really looking forward for it to be finished. Drops baby merino mix superwash treated extra fine merino wool. And it's very, very scarfable, friendly, lovable. It's belonging to the yarn group 8, which is the thinnest yarn. So it's like kind of a lace weight-ish yarn. It's 50 gram balls, so 1.75 ounces to 175 meters. So that's 191 yards. 100% baby merino superwash wool. Absolutely gorgeous in this lovely gray. I have this left plus the donut I have here, which should be enough for the sleeves, or the second sleeve as well. And then I have a very bit leftovers, random leftovers here and there. So yeah, how should I finish off the cuffs? Do I need to make fan stitches and then sort of alternate? Or do I just need to make a little thin row of fan stitches in the end? Or should I just keep it mesh until the very end row? Yeah, if you have any other suggestions, feel free, of course, but input here down below. I will absolutely be happy to hear your suggestions for that. And I'm aware I should probably need to wait a few days before starting on this again, and that's all right because I have so many other projects I'm working on, and I will be quite busy the coming week, and that's basically due to we are having an event at the local club, and I will be there trying to make some business of other kinds, and therefore I just won't have as much time to crochet. But what I am going to do is I am going to probably bring a project with me there, so when I have nothing to do I can do some crocheting, which is not totally a logic choice, right? So as mentioned, we have 4 projects going on, right? Actually, I have 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. We are going to talk about 5 projects today. The next project we have to talk about, because we always take them in chronological order, that is the In-Lines Poncho. And the In-Lines Poncho is doing really well, actually. You might not be able to see it that well, because it is absolutely grand, this project now. I have so very little left. I am still noting down how much yarn it takes for the rows. It is totally caved and collapsed in here, so I'm not going to take that out. But when I started on my current, and did I do a half a round of that already? That is a big question. I think I did. Yeah, I did half a round of that already. I calculated I had, before I started on the previous round, I had 49 grams left. Then after finishing a round, I had 38 grams left. So I am expecting this to take about 11-12 grams per round, which means that I have probably 2.5 rounds left, and then this shawl is finished. Yay! Woohoo! I'm really looking forward to have it finished, because it's been quite a project. It's taken quite some time. The next issue is, of course, I need a new project to go with my TV watching, because then I have no project for my TV. And I always have some kind of project for that. A part of me have been debating on just starting another Vary shawl, because it's something I can also do mindlessly when I'm watching TV. It is tempting. But I am open for suggestions for mindless projects, obviously. But yeah, this one is doing really nice. I'm just also gonna see if, without ruining my hair too much, I can take this one on with the cowl, and knowing that there is about 2 more rounds to go. And of course you can get to see me in my full pleasure and splendor as well, even though you can't see it fully, but it is right here. So if I do like this, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. Not much more to say. I am really happy. It is slightly more pointy, but that could probably also be changed with design. What I also can do is I can also do the turn and then instead wear it sideways. And that, I think, my friends, is so much better for covering the arms. So maybe this is a poncho I will be wearing more like this. Who knows, maybe one day I'll just buy an extra cake and I'll add some. But yeah, I will be adding, 2 more rounds, which is gonna be like, how much is a round? I'm just gonna measure it for good measurement's sake. About 1 centimeter. So about another centimeter is gonna be added here to the duck. And actually, I see I'm on this side, so here it's probably 1.5 centimeters because it should be longer on the back. But yeah, I'm really looking forward for this to be done, obviously. And what I really like is the cowl part. It's really nice and warm. And it's left me inspirations for future ponchos. I may need to actually to look into some of the other projects I have when it comes to that. What also is that I have, like, once we are done with the drops Oasis Cardigan, we need to find a new project for me to do with all my drop yarns. And maybe there is a good, more mindless project there between. Maybe. We will have to see what I will be starting on for sure. But that was the In-Lines Alpaca Poncho. And then we have Fleur. Fleur is the Mosiac pattern that I'm doing. And I did one more row or round. I'm not really sure what's more correct. I just need to make sure my weight noose wasn't lost. I have made one more round. I would say round because you work in the round and not in rows. I've made one more round. And it is coming up really beautifully. I am trying not to unwind too much of this yarn. But here we have. So the last round was in the beige. And you can see how this first flower part in the center is slowly being wrapped up. I do believe the next round, and I'm not 100% sure, I think this is gonna be all double crochets across. It could easily be from that part, or it will be single crochets first, double crochets and then single crochets, because you want to cover it in, of course. So I think I'm gonna do 3 single crochets here of the Bordeaux, and then the following round it's gonna be one big covering with this going wider as well. We will have to see as it comes. As I said, it is slowly growing. It is becoming ever so more pretty. We are at round 26 of 129, so I have plenty of rounds to go. And eventually I won't be able to hold it up here for you guys to see. That's gonna be a fact. I will probably also need a different project crate. It works fine just to have the skeins laying in here. But eventually this project itself also will be too big for that crate. And I think it looks insanely good on the back for a mosaic. It's very neat and clean. And you can see where I carried the yarn with me, but you know, that's the only thing. I think the rest is looking quite neat for the fact it's mosaic. So, and for the first time ever doing this, I am really, really happy. But it's a project where I need to pay attention. And eventually I might also get to a stage where I'm not gonna be able to crank out a whole round in a week or whatever. Everything depends. It is a little bit more calm at work, so I might have some time to, who knows, do a little bit on that, if there isn't too much to do. But everything, you know, I'll see. It's this, you know, the project I want to puzzle with. So it's more like when, you know, some people like to lay puzzles. I also don't mind puzzling, but I like the fact that with crocheting you're a little bit more productive. So this would be my puzzle for crochet, because I really need to keep track when I need to double crochet, when I need to single crochet, because it's the Overlay Mosiac way of doing things. There are some really great tutorials on YouTube that will explain this way better than me. But fundamentally, it's just very nice. And I'm slowly starting to get the gist of how the patterns are made and how they are doing things. Yeah, I think it's quite impressive. I'm just not sure if blankets is gonna be my thing long term, but this blanket was so pretty, and you know, when I started it, I knew it was gonna be a year project. Now when I see the progress I've made since I started, which was around New Year's Eve, it's probably going to be like a 2, 4, 5 years project. We will see. It's not important when this finishes. I don't have a deadline for it. So it's something I can just take out when I puzzle when I want. And, you know, right now a round takes me probably like somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes to complete, to make sure I have the stitches in the right places and so on. So obviously it's going to take much longer as further as we get into the project. And that's okay. It's just, you know, I'll take that as it comes. And I'm using Stylecraft DK yarns for it, for those that's interested. Stylecraft Special DK. Then we have the Firefly cardigan, which is the next project I started up. And here I am using the Soft Sensation from Lamy Yarns. This is the yarns, how they look with the labels. It's a quite thin yarn, colorway 62 and colorway 12. So 62 and 12. Love the pastel colors. These balls or donuts are 25 grams, so it's like 0.85-ish, almost 8.9. 0.8 is 160. 0.9 ounces per donut syrup approximately. Yet 200 meters, which is like 220 yards. It is 76% acrylic and then 24% polyester, quite soft, hand wash only, can be dry cleaned, do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. I hold them double, so the project you will see is basically that this is the skeins I'm currently working on, and I'm holding it double, and this is the project I'm currently working on. And this is the back side, the back panel, or the neck panel, because this is the, you know, like when you have a shirt on, it has a little bit down edge on the neck, and this is what I've created here. That's the whole panel in its length, and I'm going to keep crocheting, and I do have quite some rounds to go still. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have another 12 rounds to go. So another 10 straight forward, and then 2 where I increase again. And then, hopefully, we're gonna end up with a less, but this is the front part. And hopefully that's the back part. And then I just need 2 sleeves, and I need to crochet it all together. So, what I can show is these go together, and then I would probably need to turn it around because else you can't see it, so you can kind of get the idea of it. Ta-da! It's crocheted sideways, also a different way of doing things. So I'm crocheting basically 4 pieces. I am crocheting the front and the back, and then I'm going to crochet 2 sleeves, and then we are going to stitch it all together, and I will have a quite lightweight sweater. It's very light because lots of yardage, and when being held double, and it is fussy yarns also, right? So I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook for this. It works up so nicely, and I love the color combination, you know. So it's gorgeous. I'm really enjoying doing this, and it's mindless. So actually what I would probably need to do is I need to work less on this, so I have it when I don't have my poncho anymore, at least until I know what project I'm going to work on next. And then it's good because I have other projects I can work on. I have, as said, I do have the Fleur blanket, and Fleur is by Anke Wintermans, by the way. So the Oasis Cardigan is by Drops Design, or links to all of the patterns below. The In-Lines Poncho, Alpaca Poncho, is by Tante Traad, and she has patterns released on Hobbie's website. That's a paid pattern, or you can get free if you have Hobbii Plus. Anke Wintermans Fleur is from Ravelry. The Firefly is inspired by a Hobbii pattern. It's a free pattern. In the end, I've kind of figured out, you know, how they designed it, and now it's kind of adapting my own things because I'm not really into crop tops, and yeah, I'm just, you know, adapting this to kind of fit me. At least that's a plan. Might not end up fitting totally, but we'll see. But I'm really enjoying the design process of things. The last thing I am working on is, drum roll, DarjeelingTea Shawl by RedTeapotAtelier. Not entered in any mail and whatsoever, and I am working from a fully cake. It's a LindeHobby Hobbii cake, which we found out last yarn talk video. In last yarn talk video last week, I posted the pattern and we did the drawing together based on the 2 yarns that had a tie after the live membership poll on which yarn should I use for it. And yeah, basically not much to say except here we have it, and I am working from it from the outside. We have entered a slight color change. You can barely see it, but you can see it's ever so lighter, shiny lighter, and that is the lighter colors. It's holding up really well together compared to it not being in a project crate right now. So yeah, it's holding up pretty well, nicely wound up. And I have to say, it's an absolutely wonderful yarn to work with. Of course, it is plied. So, and the fun story is, I chose the DarjeelingTea Shawl to go with the rest because I failed to read the pattern through, and it does have some puff stitches. It doesn't have as many as the DarjeelingTea Shawl. That's good, because the last puff stitch row on that last DarjeelingTea Shawl really made me exhausted, is probably a really good description of just making them. And it's not because the process of making puff stitches alone is the issue, because that's okay, but the progress goes so slow, and crochet is always not the quickest way of creating things, and it eats a lot of yarn. So it's really hard to judge if you will have enough yarn left to complete. So in that sense, it adds a few extra challenges, but it's okay. The DarjeelingTea Shawl has fewer puff stitches, so I'm still okay with it. And I think it's really, really, really nice. And I do believe I've made the first 26, maybe 26 rows approximately. And this is where we are at. This is, actually I need to, if I unround it once, go a little bit away, because then you have a nice background to see. Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous. I really, really like it. And it's such a pleasure to work with. And the yarn is wonderful. LindeHobby Soft Cakes. I have more soft cakes in my stash, so I'm looking forward to work with those as well. It is a 4-plied thread. And only when I've been making the puff stitches, I need a little bit extra attention. The cake itself recommends a 3mm crochet hook. I do believe, I don't remember if the pattern recommends everything else, but it's also just a fully 1000 meter cake. But I ended up crochet hook upsize by 0.25. So I'm using what you would consider in the US a D hook with this. It's still quite a small hook, of course, for those not used to it. So 3.25mm is the hook I've ended up using with it. And I think it gives a really nice drape to it, and it looks really just gorgeous. If I did this correct, you should also see the thumbnail for the video, of course, was the gorgeous, gorgeous Darjeeling in progress. It is a pattern where I need to pay attention and read what I'm to do, but once I get started on the row, it usually goes pretty smooth. So this could be a project that I bring with me to the events where I'm going, so I might have the chance of cranking out a few more rounds. I think that was pretty much it for now for this week's yarn talk video, because there is plenty of things to come later today. Of course, I am going live, but if you're watching this at a later time, on Monday, I have a new I have a new part of the Sort My Stash 2024 series. And yes, I do have a big stash. We have all concluded that already long ago. And that sort series is about cakes, gorgeous 100% cotton cakes. They are the Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe cakes. And they are the Yarn Art Rose Garden cakes. They are really, really gorgeous. So tune in for that on Monday. Next week, I might go live Tuesday or Wednesday, undecided. I might, no promises. And of course, normally we do have a yarn talk, but it is holiday period next week and we have other events to attend to. So I won't have time to actually record a yarn talk video during those days. So I will ensure you have something else to watch here on the channel. And then, of course, the following week, Monday, we have more Sort My Stash videos. And the following week, I'll definitely be back with a live, or not live, sorry, with a yarn talk. So yeah, so many more things to come on the channel. And of course, Tuesday, I posted my second podiversary video. If you haven't watched that one yet, I do recommend you to go watch it. Also in full. It could actually end up being rewarding for you. If you haven't done yet, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for hanging around and being with me here on the Yarn Talk. And hopefully I'll see you soon here on my channel. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.